Tremaine Brock will start after missing the last 5 games with a toe injury. And the Niners offense is without All-Pro guard Mike Iupati, but tackle Anthony Davis returns after missing the last 2 games with a knee injury, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. I think the Broncos are getting the Niners at the right time. Jim Harbaugh, there he is, demonstrative as always, with Kaepernick on the sideline. They're going to get the ball. John Fox in his 4th year in Denver. That's Bruce Ellington back deep. Denver won the toss, and the Broncos deferred. And here is Brandon McManus, who took over at the start of the season. Matt Prater was suspended, and finally they let him go, and McManus has the job. Great interconference matchup underway, and as usual in Denver, a touchback. Let's take a look at the 49er starters.
Colin Kaepernick, Nevada.
Frank Gore, the U.
Bruce Miller, Central Florida.
Anquan Bolden, Florida State University.
Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech.
Vernon Davis, University of Maryland.
Joe Staley, Central Michigan University.
Joe Looney, Wake Forest University.
Daniel Kilgore, Appalachian State.
Alex Boone, The Ohio State University.
Anthony Davis, Rutgers.
And Michelle talking about Davis, it's only his 2nd start of the season. He missed the 49ers' 7th game. They're 4-2 coming in with a 3-game winning streak. And the first play from scrimmage is a play fake and a drop pass. Michael Crabtree put it on the ground. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Kaepernick, we know what he can do. He gets outside of the pocket a lot. Thus, he leads all NFL quarterbacks in carries and in rushing yards. And he's especially effective on 3rd down. When it all breaks down is when he really becomes dangerous. 2nd and 10. Gore, for so many years, the workhorse to the 25. Let's take a look at the Denver defense.
Derek Wolf, Cincinnati.
Sylvester Williams, North Carolina.
Terrence Knighton, Temple Owls.
Marcus Ware, Troy.
Vaughn Miller, Texas A&M.
Nate Irving, North Carolina State.
Brandon Marshall, Nevada.
Akeem Talib, Kansas.
TJ Ward, Oregon.
Raheem the Dream Moore, UCLA.
Chris Harris Jr., Kansas State.
You all know about Miller and Ware, who can wreak havoc in any backfield. 3rd down and 6. Blitz coming, and Kaepernick will get swallowed up by it at the 17-yard line, and DeMarcus Ware, the longtime Cowboy, comes bursting through to put him down.
Well, you probably have the best tandem of pass rushers in the league. Von Miller is going to force him to step up, and right into his running mate there, DeMarcus Ware. 10 sacks between them, now make that 11 on the season, and for the 49ers not the start they were hoping for.
A very quick 3 and out, and the Broncos should get fairly decent field position. Andy Lee sends it into the mile-high air. This is Isaiah Burse, who dangerously does not call for a fair catch. Hauls it in to the 43-yard line. He goes, and here's the Bronco offense.
Peyton Manning, University of Tennessee.
Ronnie Hillman, San Diego State.
Demaryius Thomas, Georgia Tech.
Wes Welker, Texas Tech.
Emmanuel Sanders, SMU.
Julius Thomas, Portland State University.
Ryan Clady, Boise State.
Orlando Franklin, the U. Manny Ramirez, Texas Tech.
Luis Vasquez, Texas Tech.
Paul Cornick, the North Dakota State.
That's a change. Cornick making his first start of the season. Takes over at right tackle for Chris Clark. You met Julius Thomas, the tight end, who already has 9 touchdown passes this season. Ronnie Hillman is the running back. He had a 100-yard game in the Meadowlands last week against the Jets, and starts here with a gain of about 3 to the 46-yard line, tackled by Borland. Since coming here in 2012, Manning averaging just a tick under 3 touchdowns per game. 30-7 is his record. They're 13-3 in each of the last 2 regular seasons, and come into this game tonight with a mark of 4-1, the only loss in overtime at Seattle week 3. And the Niners start to move. John Parry is the referee.
Ball start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And that's Cornick making his first start and getting the game's first penalty.
A lot of stuff happening at the line of scrimmage for the Denver Broncos. I'm sure he's trying to decipher everything that Peyton Manning has to say, but they feel like that here's a guy that in replacing Chris Clark maybe gives them a little bit more of an anchor. Ahmad Brooks to that side, a very strong bull-rushing outside linebacker. Want to try and contain him.
Now you've got a double stack, and you have Hillman, the running back, at the bottom of the screen, the widest of all. Manning over the middle. That is caught by Demaryius Thomas, having a phenomenal season, run out by Antoine Bethea after a big gain. So following the penalty, down the field goes Manning for a gain of 32 yards.
Well, it's just so difficult. You see Michael Wilhoit, when they have their starting linebackers in there, Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, probably the best pair of coverage linebackers that there are in the game, and without those guys, it has to be a different style of defense.
Back to the ground from the 27-yard line, and this time it's a gain of 7 yards for Hillman. Monte Ball is their number one back, but he's hurt. Out last week, out this week. So Hillman, and the issue with Hillman has been, can he hold on to the ball? He fumbles a lot, but he had a big day, as we said last week, in the Meadowlands.
Yeah, fumbles at a higher rate than any of the regular players in the National Football League right now, but he also has given this team a lift. There's no question. His quickness and ability to create has added something.
Here he goes again, but this time he gets taken down at the 19-yard line. Michael Wilhoit, number 57, who's had to play a lot this year. Remember, they're minus Navarro Bowman all season, and tonight playing without Patrick Willis inside.
Here we go. Michael Wilhoit right here filling in, and he is now the signal caller, which is fairly significant as well. You're going against Peyton Manning, and this is going to happen very fast tonight. He took over in the second half a week ago when Patrick Willis got injured.
3rd down and 2. Manning to the outside, and that'll be caught by Wes Welker for a first down. Welker suffered a concussion in preseason, and he was suspended for 4 games, which was reduced to 2 when they changed the league policy. So Wes Welker on a 3rd down cashes in.
Wes Welker with only 1 catch in the game last week, and it made headlines. It's the first time that he hadn't had at least 2 catches since, I think, 2009.
With the Thomas guys and everybody else having a fantastic season. Emmanuel Sanders came over from Pittsburgh. Welker, pretty much a lost guy at the moment, as Ronnie Hillman takes it for a first down. And then the 49ers knock him down after the play had been stopped.
Ruling in the field is down by contact. 1st and goal, 3-yard line.
One of those old routes Fran Tarkington used to run to the inside. I tell you, sometimes this offense can get so hot. Now they're down here. I think if they run one in for a touchdown, this crowd might start booing.
Number 3.
Ronnie Hillman might start booing.
Ahmad Brooks.
Wow.
Takes him down for a 3-yard loss.
Ahmad Brooks is used to playing on the end of the line of scrimmage, but not this time. Look at that shot. Wow. Ronnie Hillman, not a big guy. He's about 195 pounds, so always questions about can he hold up. And look at this formation. We have the diamond formation at the bottom of the screen. 4 receivers right down here.
4 by 1. Julius Thomas is the sole guy to the right. Here's Hillman. Can he get in? He only can get to the 3-yard line. So back to the original line of scrimmage. Now it's 3rd down and goal on the Broncos' opening drive.
Well, here's respect right here, because at the top of the screen, Julius Thomas, who has 9 touchdowns, was by himself, and yet he had double coverage, which is why Peyton went the other way.
Now Hillman comes off a little slowly. Jawan Thompson, rookie out of Duke, flanks Manning in the backfield on 3rd down and goal. This time they go 3 by 1. And Peyton sliding left, throwing, touchdown, Emmanuel Sanders. So that's 1 for Peyton, and it comes on Emmanuel Sanders' first touchdown as a Denver Bronco.
there has been an element of speed added to this offense, and it comes in the form of Emmanuel Sanders. You'll remember a couple of years ago, Bill Belichick signed him to an offer sheet, and he is their leading receiver. Nobody could have predicted that on this team of stars, and yet that is his first touchdown.
McManus boots it through. So after the Niners go 3 and out, Peyton takes him 57 yards in 9 plays. He was 5 for 5 on the drive, 7-0. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Volkswagen TDI Clean Diesel. By Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Bose, official sound of the NFL. Sports Authority Field, Mile High in Denver. Peyton Manning, a perfect 5 for 5 on that drive. 5:07, 1 to tie. And McManus with his second touchback. So 8.5 to go. There it was, 5:07 to Emmanuel Sanders. Don't miss a moment of Sunday Night Football this season with NBC Sports Live Extra. Take the game with you anywhere, online, and on tablet. Sports Authority Field, Mile High, 49ers, second possession. Their first was a quick 3 and out. On the ground, Gore swinging to the outside. Gain of 1, and back we go to number 5:07.
Well, we got the NFL Next Generation stats, but this is old school football here. The umpire, you see him circled in the middle of the field, and as a wide receiver, you use that guy to pick defenders. That time the referee slipped, and that was a walk-in.
Second and 9. And that pass is caught, and spinning away is Bruce Ellington for a first down. Up to the 36-yard line goes the rookie 4th-round draft choice from South Carolina.
Come up, go back out. Ellington is the quickness element on this team. Former basketball player, a little point guard. And here's one of the great battles of the night. Joe Staley, 3 straight Pro Bowls, and DeMarcus Ware going at it on the outside.
49ers have been much more proficient running to the left side than the right side this season. By almost a 2-to-1 ratio, a lot of that would have to do with Joe Staley. On first down, Kaepernick scrambles away, throws on the run. That's caught 50-yard line. Vernon Davis, the tight end, first down. T.J. Ward makes the tackle.
Well, there's Vernon Davis, who is coming off of one of his poorer performances a week ago. They said he had a great week of practice, clearly did not play well. And here's the problem you have with Colin Kaepernick. If you rush 4, there's always going to be somewhere for him to step up and through, and he does a great job of it. He doesn't look to run all the time. He looks to throw, and he took advantage there.
Here's Gore going through the middle. Gain of 2. The defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos is Jack Del Rio, longtime head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who came here. And then last year, you might recall, John Fox had a heart issue, had to have open heart surgery in the middle of the season, and Del Rio took over for 4 games as the interim coach. Happy to report that Foxy says he feels better than ever.
He's also happy to report that this defense is a lot better than the one that was playing in the Super Bowl last year.
Now Carlos Hyde comes into the backfield, the 49er running back, rookie 2nd-round pick out of Ohio State. The pass to the outside is caught by Crabtree trying to get the first down. Head linesman comes over. We'll see where he spots it, and it should be across the line and a first down.
You know, it's interesting because Denver now is playing a lot more man coverage than they have in the past, and with the way Kaepernick stepped up through that last one, this time they're trying to bring a little pressure, contain him, but now they have to go one-on-one in the secondary. Aqib Talib, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris, very good cover guys on the back end, but these are also excellent receivers.
49ers 5 wide on a first down from the 39-yard line. Kaepernick in trouble. Gets away. Throws on the run, just throws it away.
Well, if you're volunteering to return, Von Miller would not be the first guy I'd want to play against. Anthony Davis, a huge lift. Jonathan Martin has filled in there and done so to the best of his ability. Probably played his best game a week ago. But now their star Anthony Davis back in there, and just in the nick of time, playing against Von Miller with his 6 sacks already in just 5 games.
Gore comes back into the backfield. Davis resets on the left side. Give it to Gore. And Gore, still brilliant. 10 years in the league. Age of 31 to the 33-yard line. One of the great 49ers of all time.
One of the great things that Gore does is take it deep into the hole and then cut and then get up the field. So many backs, when they start to cut laterally, stay lateral. Not Frank Gore. He goes up the field, and you can bet when he finishes runs, there's going to be a fall forward of 2 or 3 yards to tack onto that run.
Crowd stamping its feet collectively. Building shaking. It's 3rd and a short 4 from the 33. The play clock is down to 2. Flag is down. Kaepernick throws. Crabtree reaching for it, and another flag. You have a flag at the end of the play there. You have a flag at the inception of the play. Chris Harris was covering. Looks like you're going to get offensive pass interference on one call. We'll see about the other.
That was an interesting call on the end of it. Crabtree got close to getting that second foot down.
Here comes the flag.
I think maybe the leg hit just before the toe knocked down.
There's 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Offensive pass interference number 15. Illegal shift. Offense. Both those penalties have been declined. 4th down.
Now you saw Parry look over to John Fox to say you want it or decline it. Harbaugh wants some further elaboration.
Yeah, you could see that he was saying, wasn't there another flag over there? He wanted a 3rd.
Right. Here's Dawson. He has hit on a 50-yarder in each of his last 3 games. He's 39 years old, kicking as well as ever. This would be a 51-yard attempt at altitude. So in the mile-high air, Lee will put it down, and a 51-yard boot is no good. Wide to the left. That bogs down. Manning back to work. 7-0 Broncos. A fascinating link with these two guys. Jim Harbaugh was the quarterback at Indianapolis, quarterback the last game of the 97 season. Then, of course, in the 98 draft, they picked Peyton Manning, so Harbaugh was gone, and Manning took over for Harbaugh. They stayed there, of course, through 2011.
What did he say? Napoleon said, yeah, we're changing directions. He goes, oh, that's great. Well, how are we going? He goes, no, you don't understand. It's not with you.
we're changing directions. You're going to Baltimore.
See ya.
Manning off the play fake throws, and that's pulled in by Emmanuel Sanders. They let Eric Decker go to New York, and then supplanted him with Sanders. Great pickup.
Working against Tremaine Brock, but watch this catch. When you're coming in there is a good chance that you're going to be hit very hard. So as a receiver, that is quite a testament to your toughness to go up and make that play.
Manning 6 for 6 to start the game. Now Hillman runs into a pile as he crosses the 40-yard line.
And really, this is going to be the key for the 49ers. We saw the Jets, when playing against Peyton Manning, basically say, forget it. We don't care how many yards we run for. We've seen the Patriots do that before. And if the 49ers, with their stout defensive line, Justin Smith, Ian Williams, Ray McDonald, if they can control that line of scrimmage, and believe it or not, they want Peyton Manning to throw the football because that means they have stopped the running game.
2nd and 8. Pick up the blitz. And getting free is Welker, and Welker gets banged out of bounds at the half-yard line. Antoine Bethea saved the touchdown, but it's a gain of 38. First and goal from about the 8-inch line.
The whole thing comes because Demaryius Thomas is so good. I think they just called that a touchdown.
Right. Originally, they said no. The official right there, and of course, since it is a scoring play, they will look at it again. The first official signals no. He's out of bounds. The second one comes in and says touchdown.
Really on the field is a touchdown based on the ball, the goal line, and the pylon.
The pylon inbounds at that point. If it stands, there's your tie at 5:08. Of course, those scoring plays reviewed. New York taking a look at it right now. Do we want Parry to come over and take a look at it?
So many.
Previous play is going to be reviewed for a touchdown or out of bounds short of the goal line. We'll review the play, timeout on the field.
All right, they'll take a look, and we'll come back and see if he did indeed get another one.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field's confirmed. Touchdown.
So he ties the record. Welker hitting the pylon with the football, and that is a touchdown. Despite the fact the first official said no, second one came in and said yes, it is confirmed, and he has tied Favre about 13 minutes into the game.
And how does he celebrate? He goes over and starts studying the game plan for the next drive. I mean, that's sort of the signature emotional high of Peyton Manning right there.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 98, 5-yard penalty, try from the 7.
Manning is now 7 of 7, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns.
You know what's amazing is how many teams fear that quick screen to Demaryius Thomas. Both guys reacted up to a quick screen behind the line of scrimmage, and they
breaks loose. Only one man can save us from DC Comics. Constantine, premiering Friday here on NBC. Jim Harbaugh may be looking for Constantine.
Constantine needs any help, throw Peyton Manning at him. I didn't do anything.
14-0. It's a line drive kick that bounds all the way through the end zone. And back we go to the 5:08.
Demaryius Thomas is out here, and the fear is that Wes Welker is going to come make this block. This time instead, he keeps going. But the fear of that quick screen to Demaryius Thomas drew both defenders up. And for Wes Welker, he did the rest. Wow, has this happened fast?
So the 49ers have started with a 3-and-out, and then a missed 51-yard field goal. Already down by 14 in Denver. And they start with Gore, and he can't get out of the backfield. You got Quintera Smith, second-year defensive lineman out of Western Kentucky right there.
Right in there. See Quintera Smith, and he is just rocked up. And right now the 49ers have problems. That the 49ers can't run the football, and really nobody else has been able to run the football this year against this Broncos defense. Their play action goes away. A lot of the things that they are known for kind of start slipping through the cracks.
The defense allowing only 3.3 yards per carry. Second and 11. Kaepernick fires, and it's dropped. Vernon Davis right there drops it. Third and 11.
I'll tell you, this young man, Corey Nelson, has gotten to the point where he is pretty good. 52 coming in there, running back down the field. But that has been a problem for Vernon Davis. He dropped a couple of them last week, and I think it's possible it's related to his back. As a receiver, you really catch the ball more with your legs than anything else, and that's what gives you the give when you're making the catch. And right now, Vernon Davis looks completely uncomfortable catching the ball.
Two deep safeties for Denver on a 3rd down and 11. Kaepernick throws, and it's too high and incomplete along the far side, intended for Brandon Lloyd. Chris Harris covering. 4th and 11.
Wow. Well, we're in Colorado, and this has the feel of an avalanche here.
Or another Sunday night game, right?
I was going to say that, but I decided not to.
Yep. Andy Lee to punt. Isaiah Burse back at the 30-yard line. And Burse calls for the fair catch and pulls it in at the 27-yard line. 1:56 left in the first. Manning back to work with a 2-touchdown lead. Peyton Manning through the years, touchdown passes. The first he threw and the most to one receiver will be Marvin Harrison. Started in 98, wound up with 112 with Marvin. Most against any opponent, 48 against the Houston Texans. This was an oddity that we didn't know. Most against any head coach, 33 against Bill Belichick coach teams, 38 different stadiums. Through 166 at his old home, the RCA Dome in Indy. So a perfect start for him tonight. This drive begins from the 29-yard line. And Manning will hit Thomas. And this is Demaryius Thomas, and he will get taken down by Dobbs after a gain of a couple.
Well, here's the pass that the 49ers thought was coming the last time. The quick screen to the outside. And sometimes a scouting report against Peyton Manning is actually a bad thing. When he thinks that you know what he's about to do, usually he does the opposite.
2nd and 5. Big hole exploited by Hillman. Taken down at the 45-yard line. Ferris Cox knocks him down there. Ronnie Hillman for a gain of 11 yards.
I tell you, this is a different looking offense this year, and I like Ronnie Hillman in there. I think that element of speed that he provides along with Emmanuel Sanders, it looks different out here. It looks like they can beat you with anybody on the field at this point.
Again, 137 yards already for the Broncos in the final minute of the quarter. Hillman to the outside. Another good run. He got a flag here, though. Taken down by Tremaine Brock. You got a hold here. To bring it back.
Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty, replay. 1st down.
Manny Ramirez, center.
You know, this really has not been a great start to the year for this offensive line. They made the move, Orlando Franklin inside, and there's Patrick Willis on the sideline. Of course, he's the signal caller, and I think Peyton's kind of getting the advantage of it. But Orlando Franklin moving to guard has worked out beautifully. He's probably played better than anybody. They thought Ryan Clady at left tackle was going to come back and be great. He's been okay so far. Right tackle's been an issue.
1st and 19, and Manning's going to get sacked at the 29-yard line. Aaron Lynch, good-looking rookie, picked him in the 5th round out of South Florida. Seeing off and on action this season, comes in for the sack.
Well, I told you right tackle had been an issue, and I guess it just doesn't matter. Tried to trip him there at the tail end of that thing. Chris Clark didn't play so well a week ago. They tried Cornick in there now, and it didn't go so well either.
Takes us to the 2nd quarter. Manning 2 touchdown passes in the first. Ended 14-0. Denver. Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Looking at downtown Denver, Colorado. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya. Sunday Night Football, Week 7. Peyton Manning has tied Brett Favre's career touchdown passing mark, 508. Will he get another tonight? With 45 minutes left in the game, he starts here with a 2nd down and 26 from his own 29-yard line. And Manning sliding, looking, and throwing too deep and incomplete. And it was Justin Smith that time coming in and putting a lick on Manning, and that's his first incomplete pass. Peyton tonight, consecutive games with a touchdown pass, kind of overlooked in the race for Favre's mark, 45. Remember, Drew Brees broke long-time mark held by Johnny Unitas a couple of years ago. Now Peyton, if he throws a touchdown pass in every game this season, could break that in the last game of the season this year. C.J. Anderson is now in the backfield. It's 3rd and 26. Three-man rush. Throw it underneath. This is Demarius Thomas, who's terrific for yards after catch. Always among the league leaders is again this year, but too much to pick up here as he picks up 15. Needed 26, and it's 4th down, and the 49ers will get the ball back.
Well, defensively, they just needed that. They needed to stop the onslaught. Got a little help from the Broncos setting themselves back, but now it's up to Kaepernick to get this thing going. They need something to get them back in the ballgame.
Britton Colquitt, one of the best in the league. Of course, normally the Denver punter is one of the best in the league when you're playing 80-year games at 5,280 feet. And this one bounds out of bounds. So the 49ers, you know, it's funny, we started the game, people who follow football know, a lot of buzz, a lot of noise about Jim Harbaugh. Will he stay? Will he go? Consternation in the front office and all of that. Your take?
I think they're out of their minds if they make a change. You know how hard it is in the National Football League to put it all together? They have a general manager, they have a coach, they have a young, talented quarterback. And if you consider splitting this up now, you just have no appreciation for how difficult it is. If I were the owner, I'd sit everybody down and say, listen, I don't care who's mad at who. This thing is staying together, and we're going to make it work, and everybody shut up.
You mean you never heard of irreconcilable differences?
Yeah, once in Dallas.
From the 13-yard line. Kaepernick, he's going to get sacked at the 5-yard line. Von Miller crashing through. Second time Kaepernick has been brought down behind the line.
There he is. And they're starting to move Von Miller around a little bit so they can't slide the protection, so they can't chip. If he's standing up and behind the line of scrimmage, he can go anywhere from 3 or 4 gaps away because he has that kind of speed. This guy is a terror. I mean, you think about it, 7 sacks already. And this is just his 6th game.
8-yard sack here, 2nd and 18. And Kaepernick will take a timeout. You look at the 7 years for the 49ers, 04 through 2010. Mike Singletary there for a lot of those years. And then under Harbaugh, 40, 13, and 1. They made 3 straight NFC Championship game appearances, losing to the Giants in a thriller, then getting to the Super Bowl where he faced his brother and lost to Baltimore. Got there again last year, another thriller against Seattle. So 3 years he's been the head coach. Before that at Stanford he was terrific. There's Trent Baalke, who's done a masterful job as a general manager, drafting and picking up free agents. So everything has come together except, you know, who knows?
Well, and there's a line of thought that goes, well, they haven't won the Super Bowl. And in San Francisco, you only get credit for doing anything if you win the Super Bowl. Well, see how many teams have ever made it to 3 straight conference championships and made it to 1 Super Bowl and barely lost out.
2nd and 18, they go 5 wide. And Kaepernick fires, and that is caught on the run by Stevie Johnson, who came over from Buffalo. Another one of those acquisitions made by Baalke, and Stevie Johnson gets them out of a huge hole on a gain of 31 off a 2nd down and 18 play.
Stevie Johnson, we were talking to Kaepernick about him a little bit, and he said, I got to be real honest with you, I don't know exactly what he's going to do all the time. He kind of runs his routes like he's playing basketball or playing tag, but he is a dynamic guy that's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons playing for the Buffalo Bills, and now has come in here and just added to already a very impressive group of wide receivers that has 4 1,000-yard receivers at some point in their career.
Kaepernick flushed out again. Chased by Miller. Throws on the run. Flag thrown. Caught for the moment by Ellington. John Parry, one of the best in the league, refereeing tonight's game. I guess best in the league is depending on who you're rooting for.
Holding.
Correct.
Defense. Number 36. Penalty's been accepted. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Not Denver's favorite, at least at the moment. Penalty is on Kayvon Webster.
There we go. Kayvon Webster right there working against the guy who plays tag, Stevie Johnson. And anytime you see the jersey tugged, it's just automatic.
Again, go 5 receivers. 4-man rush, fires, and it is caught for a first down by Brandon Lloyd, who made that gigantic play at the end of the first half, the 80-yard touchdown reception against St. Louis that led to a win last week against the Rams.
Brandon Lloyd, I think, is one of the most acrobatic catchers of the football that I've seen. Of course, they know him well here in Denver. Had a huge season here, over 1,000 yards, probably his best year. But he has made the last couple of weeks some big plays down the field, and that's probably the one thing they do lack in San Francisco, that down-the-field threat.
Played that year with Kyle Orton for the most part at quarterback here. First down now. Slings it to the outside. It's caught by Bolden, but they wrap him up immediately.
I don't know what kind of velocity Colin Kaepernick's putting on the ball right now, but the last 3 throws have been almost angry throws. He is just ripping the football right now. Of course, a 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball when he was a baseball pitcher. Really never gave much consideration. A huge Brett Favre fan growing up in Wisconsin, and just loved the way Brett played the game. And tonight playing against the guy that may break Brett's record.
Second down and 7. Clean pocket, and then the pass is incomplete through a fastball through the hands of Michael Crabtree. It'll be 3rd and 7.
That's sort of like a Haley's Comet moment right there. Crabtree drops one about every 87 years, 83 years. I don't know. It's 80-something, 86, one of those. If you gave me 10 shots at that, I would have had it.
Well, it looks like a comet.
It sure did. A little vapor trail on it.
3rd and 7 from the 44. This drive began back at the 13-yard line. Niners last week also trailed 14-0, won the game. Trying to do it again tonight. Kaepernick throws, and it is caught or juggled anyway, and they will say no, incomplete. Anquan Bolden looked as if he had it for the moment. Bradley Roby was there.
It's not going to matter.
No, flag is down anyway.
Yeah. Roby got his hands in there. It's only a matter of, was the contact before the ball was thrown or
Pass
not?
interference, defense, number 29. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Just going to do a little swing as they come inside here, and Roby, the rookie, their #1 draft pick, and I think is just loaded with talent. I think Roby is really going to be a star player. That slot corner among the toughest of all positions. Really, that was hot. Was there enough football movement? Probably not. Good call there, but it didn't matter.
Interference took place 19 yards down the field. First down, 25-yard line. And they run it. Gore being of a couple.
You know, there are some big guys inside for the Denver Broncos that have just made a huge difference on this defense. You're looking at one, number 98 right there. Terrence Knighton, Sylvester Williams, number 92. Derek Wolfe, a guy that plays what they call the 5 technique. Usually that's a position for a guy about 320 pounds. Well, he plays at about 285, but he plays as angry as anybody. And these guys have really done a job stopping the run this year.
Second down and 8 from the 23-yard line. Kaepernick flush to his left, trying to get out of trouble, and then he's going to have to sling it away to save a sack. Derek Wolfe chased him out. 3rd down.
Well, anytime you've got Von Miller chasing you, you're moving to your left. A lot of coverage down the field. They're all locked up pretty well. Chris Harris on the outside, working against Anquan Bolden. But it is interesting that Kaepernick has made so many plays moving to his left. We asked him about it. He said, why do you think you've been able to do it? He said, because defenses don't think right-handed quarterbacks move to the left, so I do it.
The guy who was pretty good at that was his idol.
Sure was.
One Brett Favre.
The guy who replaced Brett in Green Bay ain't bad at it either.
Yep. Now another timeout here, so the 49ers have had to squander 2 timeouts on this drive. 3rd and 8 when we come back. Colin Kaepernick ratchets it up on 3rd down. There he is, 58% completion percentage on 1st and 2nd, but 65% on 3rd, better than the league average. But what he really does well on 3rd down is run. 15 carries for 110 yards, most carries, most yards for anybody in the league. Quarterback, running back, you name it. 110 yards on 3rd down, and here he is, 3rd down and 8. Crabtree outside left, Bolden in the slot.
Ordinarily, you'd think Vernon Davis here, but he has not been playing well lately.
Blitz coming. Pass is underthrown and then caught by Anquan Bolden. Denver says no, the officials say yes. So a very underthrown pass. Great adjustment by Bolden. He comes back to grab it off the grass.
There's any question that he catches it, but watch on the tail end when it whips around the other way. Does it bobble at all there? That's the only time that I thought it was perfectly clean there. But going to the ground, I don't blame him. I would hurry too.
Well, does he get his hand under it? And so it is going to be too late for any sort of challenge from Fox. And instead, you got Gore. If he got his hand under it, take a look at it again. If he got his hand under it before he hit the ground, it would have been a clean catch.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question here, but he's making the catch going to the ground. Does the ball bobble any when it hits? See, there. That's where I thought it might have been incomplete. Good job by the 49ers getting up to the line of scrimmage. That's where it rolled and could have been. I'm not saying it was, but definitely could have been ruled incomplete.
And that's where Fox is waiting for some word from upstairs, and there's uncertainty there. Too late. 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Kaepernick swings it to the outside. Crabtree gets upended by Aqib Talib. So it'll be 3rd down now from the 4-yard line with 8 minutes to go in the half.
Aqib Talib's kind of known as a guy that, great cover guy, but they say he sneaks into goal line sometime just because he likes to hit. That was a pretty good shot right there. Now Mr. 3rd down, Colin Kaepernick. Let's see you do it one more time.
This drive started at the 13-yard line, so they've maneuvered 83 yards in 10 plays, but can they cash in for 7? Thrown, and then it's dropped. He would have had the touchdown. Bolden, of all people, started to turn around before it looked it in, so he makes a circus catch, got away with it with no challenge, and now it's 4th down.
Well, it's a great job here of a pick, and this is just easy money right here, and you could see Anquan Bolden just took his eyes off of it, probably thinking he was going to have to lower his shoulder to get into the end zone. It would have been a walk-in. Colin Kaepernick knew it.
22-yard attempt for the 39-year-old Dawson, who missed earlier from 51. And with 7.5 to go, the 49ers, 11 plays, but have to settle for 3, and it's 14-3. Up soon, the date Saturday, November 1st, Santa Anita, Arcadia, California. California Chrome is going to be in action in the Breeders' Cup. 2-day event coverage beginning on NBC SM, leading up to the Breeders' Cup Classic in prime time on Saturday, November the 1st. Part by the San Gabriels at Santa Anita. So Kaepernick watched his touchdown pass get dropped by Bolden. It's an 11-point game instead of 7. And Peyton Manning will shortly be going back to work. As Dawson sends it through the end zone. So exactly halfway through the 2nd quarter. Peyton Manning with 5-0 and an 11-point lead in Denver.
My dad. Your dad's your favorite football player too? Well, you're on the right track. You're going to be a football player when you grow up?
Spectacular tenure in Indianapolis. And right there was Welker going into the end zone that ties Brett Favre's mark at 5:08. Will he break it tonight? He starts this drive from the 20-yard line. And they start this with Virgil Green coming out of the backfield, the tight end, a guy who was a teammate and roommate of Colin Kaepernick at Nevada.
You know, a lot of people put tight ends in the backfield, but not many of them handle the football. You know, this Virgil Green's a guy that is pretty athletic. I mean, he runs every bit as fast as Julius Thomas does, but he's the best blocker, so that's his role.
Give him 3 yards on it. 2nd down and 7. And clean, and then that's dropped. All of a sudden, everybody dropping passes. Julius Thomas having a monster season with 9 touchdown receptions. It's his 4th year. The first 2 he was injured and didn't play very much, and then he had his coming out party on opening night here against Baltimore last year. Julius Thomas, and boy, the way he's playing this year, I mean, he's right up there with Jimmy Graham. Anybody else you want to name a tight end?
I guarantee you all these receivers are thinking about it a little bit right now, too. They all want to be the guy that catches the record breaker.
Now you got Thomas and you got Hillman both lining up with Manning in the backfield. 49ers rush for it. The line does a really good job, and the pass along the far side is caught. Emmanuel Sanders right in front of the bench. A late flag comes in as well.
Boy, what a great job with his feet.
Personal foul. Defense, number 59. Headbutt. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's Aaron Lynch with 15 on top at 20. Let's see if he gets his feet in here.
I'm not so sure about that one.
Antoine Bethea forced him out of bounds.
There was a little bit of a drag before. The left one was down, but did it come up back up?
The challenge flag is down. You can see the top of the screen.
Yeah.
That was pretty clear. Manning was trying to get into the line.
Ruling of a catch on the field has been challenged by San Francisco. We'll review the play.
They should win it. Challenge by Harbaugh.
After reviewing the play, the ruling of a catch stands. San Francisco is charged with their 3rd and final timeout.
This is as close as it can possibly get. Watch his left toe as he gets possession. That's the key. Right foot is clearly in. Right there. Possession, toe drag, right foot in, catch.
Mary said stands, which means it wasn't confirmed. They didn't know for sure, but that was the ruling on the field, and they're staying with it.
So that also cost them a timeout. Means that the 49ers are out of challenges for the half, out of timeouts. And you had the personal foul on top of it, so the ball is at the 42-yard line, first down. And Hillman was able to get away from Ray McDonald, who had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, and turns no gain into a gain of close to 4.
You know, it's so amazing how many things Peyton Manning has been a part of, and what he did a season ago with all the touchdown passes to set that record, and here we are just 38 yards away from maybe the greatest record of them all.
2nd and 6. Nice pocket again. Juggling catch made by Julius Thomas. That was Borland taking the place of the injured Patrick Willis, the linebacker, with the tackle. First down.
Julius Thomas, the former basketball player, said everybody wants to talk about rebounding. He said really it's about the number of passes you receive in any given day of practice that makes it so much comparable to what I have to do in the NFL.
Now Manning with Jawan Thompson lining up behind him. Again, Monte Ball hurt. He's now for a couple of weeks. So Thompson, the undrafted rookie out of Duke, flares out. Manning throws to the right side. That'll be pulled in at the 20-yard line. That's Demaryius Thomas getting position on Tremaine Brock for the catch. Gain of 8.
Tremaine Brock's been getting a lot of attention so far in this ball game. First game back, because of the toe injury. And I tell you, these guys are so big and so strong catching the ball. They don't even have to bring it into their bodies anymore. Just leave it out there and just dare somebody to try and squeeze it out. But here we go. You want to pick a winner out?
Oh, boy.
What do you think?
Julius Thomas, if I had to guess. But they pick up the first down here with Thompson carrying for a first down on a 2nd and short. So the ball now at the 17, under 5 minutes to play in the half.
And you get the whole fatigue factor starting to kick in. Peyton's not letting the 49ers substitute defensively. Not that they have a lot of healthy bodies left to substitute.
In the red zone. Out of the pistol. Hillman is the back. Hillman swinging to the outside. He's going to get taken down. Michael Wilhoit makes the tackle. Talking about Peyton and Julius Thomas. Look at these guys since last year in the red zone. Peyton's gone his way 27 times, completed 23, 15 touchdowns.
2 big targets down in the red zone, and Peyton uses them about as well as anybody could.
And Manning to the end zone. You got a flag here, so that was Emmanuel Sanders who might have been the man, but Tremaine Brock clearly had him, impeded him. Flag comes in, early pass interference.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. Automatic first down, the 1-yard line.
There are sometimes you're frustrated as a receiver, and sometimes you're really frustrated. He got a chance to break the record with Peyton Manning, and Tremaine Brock said, not on my watch.
That 49ers secondary, it looked like everybody in the secondary was on the injured list at one point this week.
Linebacker list, too.
Yep. A lot of banged up guys. Now you got 3 tight ends. You got Clark lined up.
And Julius one-on-one.
And Manning to throw! Oh, just behind the intended receiver. Bethea was there. Julius Thomas, the intended receiver, so no go there. 2nd and goal.
Anytime against anybody, if Julius Thomas is one-on-one, he's getting it. I mean, you don't even have to guess anymore. He's just getting the football. And if they line up in that same formation, he'll throw it to him again.
Manning trying to get it into the low post.
Knowing Peyton, it wouldn't surprise me if he ran it here.
2nd and goal. Oh, he falls down, and he's going to take a sack back at the 8-yard line. So the play fake, and then Manning went down, and it's 3rd and goal.
They wanted to make it look like a run, so they were going to pull Franklin across, and he ends up basically tripping Peyton Manning.
Well, that would be an inglorious preamble to breaking the record, wouldn't it?
Kind of fun.
3rd and goal. Spread them out. And Manning guns it, and it is the waiting touchdown. Demaryius Thomas. Take a look again.
Looks pretty clean to me. I think he dragged that back foot catch. Call the touchdown to field. Could you overrule this? No way.
I don't think so.
No way.
Possession.
No way.
Yep.
This building might fall down if they overruled that one.
Broncos fans, you have just witnessed history. With that touchdown, Peyton Manning has become the NFL's all-time leader in career touchdown passes, breaking Brett Favre's record. Congratulate your quarterback, Peyton Manning, on touchdown number 509.
John Elway looking on from up high. The extra point was good. Didn't take him long. About 27 minutes.
Well, they've been doing it to those two guys all the time down in the red zone. You're going to leave either one of the Thomases one-on-one. He's throwing them the football. Nice catch. And for Demaryius Thomas, a guy who openly admits that he was trained by Peyton Manning. Not many people understand that Peyton Manning is a little bit offensive coordinator, a little bit wide receiver coach. He tells these guys exactly how he wants their routes run. And all that work, all that time pays off with the record breaker. And look at him. He tries to pretend maybe it doesn't mean so much and he's focused on something else, but he gets it. He understands now his place in history and taking that top shelf.
Trying to fool him into somebody is going to wind up with the ball, but you know where that ball is going to wind up. You'll be seeing it in Canton, Ohio.
Oh, boy. I told Julius Thomas if he happened to be the one to catch it, fake like you're going to throw it in the stands.
Well, Peyton's the big prankster, so turnabout is fair play. 5:09 as Thunder traverses the field. Well, I tell you, this is a record that's going to stand for a long time.
Well, and he's not finished with it. You know, he's going to add to this one. That's going to be tough to catch.
And that's part of it. He's a long way from being finished. 5:09, 3 tonight. By the way, for the season now, he has 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And Kaepernick, well, you just have to appreciate somebody who is, I guess, part of the brethren of quarterbacks.
That's a lot of touchdown passes.
Kaepernick throws, now Stevie Johnson up to the 37-yard line. Joe Horrigan from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. He is now the possessor of that ball, which is going to be in a nice guarded and locked up trophy case at the Hall of Fame pretty soon. Now from the 36, Kaepernick is going to get sacked. DeMarcus Ware with his second tonight, and it's the third time Kaepernick has gone down.
What a great move this is. DeMarcus Ware is going to do a fake spin here. And you see Joe Staley thinking he was going to spin. He spun the other way to block him. It was just a fake. The old veteran got him that time. Great move by DeMarcus Ware.
So it's going to be second down and 20, and the 49ers are in no hurry to run a play before the 2-minute warning.
It is fun to be a part of history in any way, shape, or form. What a night.
21-3 Denver. Manning, 177 yards and 3 touchdowns. And there is your record breaker. Third at halftime coming up. Romo and Murray leading the Cowboys to a 6th straight win. Rodgers, 3 TD passes. Pack blowing past the Panthers. Bob will weigh in on Peyton's place in history. Even more secure right now after tonight as we come back to action on second down and 19. And a flag for a false start.
Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Right tackle Anthony Davis.
You know, it's not like the 49ers haven't made plays in this game. They just have not gotten it done. And really one of the big differences in these two teams has been the play in the red zone. Every time Peyton Manning's been down there, it's gone pretty well, and the 49ers had the drop touchdown pass.
Right, the Bolden drop, and then Dawson missed a 51-yarder after that good-looking drive had bogged down. And now Kaepernick's going to run with it and slide to a stop. 49ers have no timeouts. They use 2 plus the unsuccessful challenge. And a timeout is taken here by Denver. This is going to be 3rd and long. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. By Subway. Train hard, eat fresh. By Kia Motors. Visit Kia.com to learn more. And by St. Vincent, starring Bill Murray and Melissa McCarthy. Everywhere Friday. Over 20 glass sculptures currently on display at the Denver Botanic Garden. So there's Joe Horrigan, who'll make his way back to Canton with the football.
Hey, Joe. Now all of a sudden you have to get yourself refocused, but I love the call by John Fox. Why not?
Sure.
They're playing the 49ers. This is a good football team. They've been moving the ball. You get it back in Peyton's hands right now. He's hot.
It's a 3rd and 17. They have to get up to the 46-yard line. Kaepernick rolling and has an open man, and that's Brandon Lloyd, who made the big play at the end of the first half in St. Louis last week, the 80-yard touchdown. Gets them out of trouble here on a 3rd and 17 for 38 yards.
Blitz was coming off the edge over here. Kaepernick felt it. Watch this throw, though, going to his left. He made a touchdown pass last week in that game against the Rams that you would have had to have seen to believe.
From the 34-yard line. Kaepernick fires into traffic, and it's a short gain. That's Bolden at the 30-yard line. Into 4. No timeouts for San Francisco. Ticking down to under a minute here.
And this is too slow here.
Yeah, they're changing personnel.
And the Broncos did a great thing. They took advantage of it. The 49ers changed, so they ate some clock by substituting themselves.
Right, they took an extra 15 seconds or so. Now Kaepernick fires, reaching down, trying to get it is Stevie Johnson at the 4-yard line, and he's able to come up with it.
This is amazing, his throws going to the left. I mean, you have to be able to throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to get that in there. That is a catch, looks like to me.
Again, no challenges. New York looks at it. If they want to stop it, they can, but that looked like a clean catch and is. But the clock is still rolling. 17 seconds, 16. Kaepernick over the middle, back of the end zone. Stevie Johnson touchdown. How about that? So the Niners are backed up on the 3rd and 17. Denver takes a timeout, thinking they'll get the ball back. And the next thing you know, the 49ers get back into the game.
Well, anytime Kaepernick buys a little time, it just creates openings. That time Raheem Moore, anticipating that he wouldn't have time to make that second move, thinks, all right, let me go find him, and then all of a sudden he's behind his back. But that is some drive for Kaepernick and some drive for Stevie Johnson.
For the second straight week, the 49ers will go into the locker room on a high, as they did last week after the Lloyd touchdown. And the extra point is good. Made it 14-10 last week, makes it 21-10 tonight with 11 seconds remaining in the first half. With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon and primetime games right on your mobile device. Learn more by going to NFL.com/mobile. Sports Authority Field, Mile High Stadium, that opened in 2001. Stadium, of course, was in Indianapolis, and you could say Lucas Oil Stadium was the house that he built. This is the house that he's refurbished.
You know, I agreed with John Fox taking that time out, but it did come back to haunt him a bit.
It did. But it was a good call on the 3rd and 17. You don't figure that it'll be a 38-yard game, but here it was to Lloyd.
Watch these throws moving to his left. That is so difficult. It takes a young body to be able to contort like that, but that really was the difference on this drive, to be able to get that kind of velocity on balls where you're really not set and trying to make a throw. And Brandon Lloyd, I think that's his 3rd straight week catching one of at least 40 yards.
And a little kneel down will end it. So a very eventful first half for number 18, who now is the all-time record holder, 509 career touchdown passes. He threw for 177 in the half, but the Niners do get back into it at the end. 21-10. Coming up next, it will be the Toyota halftime after these messages from the RBC station. Act 2, otherwise known as the second half in Denver on this Sunday night. Peyton Manning, great first half, and of course a historic first half. 509 sets the NFL record, most career touchdown passes, and apparently Brett Favre has a Twitter account. We'll show you that after the kickoff. And word out there from old number 4. Denver to get the ball as the second half begins at Sports Authority Field with a touchback. And here was Brett's tweet. Well-deserved, Peyton. Congratulations on breaking my record on to 600.
I am so proud of you. You didn't throw the hashtag in there, but that was pretty good.
No. Hashtag on to 600. There you go. I tried to get it in, but I didn't have time.
Well, we have a ball game, but the 49ers kind of need a stop here because Colin Kaepernick has played well. If Bolden makes that one touchdown catch, he's got a sort of a brilliant first half work.
Peyton lines up in the pistol to start the third quarter, and he hands the ball off to Hillman. Smothered, 21-yard line. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, after giving up those 3 touchdowns in the first half, Jim Harbaugh said we have got to get stops, but he thinks offensively they can build on that scoring drive that they had to end the first half. That scoring drive, by the way, John Fox not pleased with the way his team played during that drive. He said we've got to execute better, but Al, he also admitted he is glad that record-breaking moment is over.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, that way you don't have to think about it. Think about play calls except what you would normally call. Here's Hillman taking it up to the 25-yard line. Stopped there by Brock and a penalty. Get the call from John Parry. Sooner or later.
After the play, personal foul. Offense number 74. The down will count. It'll be third down. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
So that's on Orlando Franklin. Down counts. He's going to make it third down and very long.
There you go.
Pretty obvious there. So it's half the distance. They move it back to the 13-yard line, and it's going to be third and 17. Adam Gase is the offensive coordinator, second year in that post. And Manning on a third and 17. 49ers send only 3. Dumps it off over the middle to Demaryius Thomas. And Thomas comes up 2 yards shy of the first down. He's just sensational running after the catch, but they makes the stop, gain of 15, they'll punt.
All 4 guys come out here to block, and then the receiver comes across here. Those other receivers don't even turn around and look for the ball, and they almost picked it up. Both times that they had third down and very long, that was the play they went to. Almost made it happen there.
Rick Colquitt to punt for Denver. So a good start for the 49ers. They get the stop that they need. The fair catch is called for at the 27 by Bruce Ellington. And that's where Kaepernick will go to work. But first a flag back down at the 32-yard line.
During the return, holding return team number 96. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First and 10. Timeout on the field.
All right, they'll tack it on. And Kaepernick goes to work when we come back.
Colin Kaepernick has been throwing some heaters in the first half, and he's been doing it from all different sorts of angles. Here from the pocket, 63 miles an hour. That's the fastest one we've ever recorded since we started doing it. So what does he do from there? He one-ups that one to 68 miles an hour. And then, moving to his left, leans into one at 69 miles an hour. So he's like a great pitcher, Nolan Ryan maybe. He just seems to be throwing harder as the game progresses.
He may catch Ryan at this rate. Here is a 3-yard pickup for Frank Gore. Frank Gore tonight has been very much held in check. 8 carries, 19 yards. And we have an injured Bronco, but it's DeMarcus Ware who gets up. It comes off under his own power. 49ers had to punt on the opening drive of the game, then a missed field goal from 51, then a punt. Then they did get a field goal after Bolden had dropped a sure touchdown pass, but did get that touchdown on an 80-yard, very fast drive at the end of the first half to get back into the game.
Ware looked like he got rolled up by one of his own players.
2nd and 6, Niners 5 wide, spreading it out. Blitz coming, pass is taken in at the 24 by Bolden, short gain right there. And that'll make it 3rd down and 2.
Well, one of the things that Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, talked about is you can't go 3 and out against Peyton Manning. You have to allow your defense a little time to rest. It's a huge play right here. They need a conversion. They have the momentum on their side after that touchdown at the end of the first half.
Roman calling in the plays from on high. And the pass is intercepted at the 40-yard line. Aqib Talib, who backpedaled quickly. Denver lined up with 10 defenders along the line on a deep safety, and Talib goes back to make an interception, his 2nd in the last 2 weeks.
Colin Kaepernick tried to make a quick read, and it was the wrong one. He had the first down right here. But Talib's going to free up and help on Stevie Johnson. If he had just taken the first down, I think he would have had it easily to the outside receiver.
Instead, a turnover in 49er territory and a short field for Manning, who begins this drive from the 40.
Thought he had it. Thought he had straight man-to-man coverage, and he could hit that inside little fade route. But Talib just crossed him up there.
5th interception of the season to go with 11 touchdown passes for Kaepernick. And now Manning looking for his 4th of the night. Hold in. Thomas, touchdown. Demaryius Thomas. 5-10.
Demaryius Thomas going against the former Bronco, Parrish Cox, and just perfectly done. Peyton Manning goes directly for the kill. He gets the turnover defensively. You're looking around, where's my helmet? You got to hustle out on the field, and Peyton Manning has you in his sights.
Extra point by McManus. So the Niners hold the Broncos on their first drive. Then they turn it over. And Manning with the kill shot right off the bat. 40 yards, 4 touchdowns. 28-10. Every time you look around, Peyton's done something else. 7 straight games, a 40-yard completion, 40 plus. First time he's done that in his career.
So much for arm strength issues, huh?
Yeah. 49ers will get a run back here from Bruce Ellington. And Ellington is going to get taken down from behind. Up at the 30-yard line, and back we go to the touchdown pass.
Quarterbacks see all they need from the safeties. Get Bethea moving over the top. Eric Reed coming down. He knows at that point there's no way his former teammate Antoine Bethea is going to be able to get there to help Parrish Cox. He sees one safety. He finds Bethea. I got it. Surgical.
Thomas has 7 catches tonight, 2 touchdowns, and 122 receiving yards.
To keep his incredible streak going.
Ooh, and look at Bolden taking care of the blocking. Chris Harris is right there. Couldn't get him out of the play. Great play.
They talk about Chris Harris as being maybe the most competitive guy on this defense. He had all the injury problems that he had to overcome. He just loves to compete. Probably physically not the greatest of players, but you give him a chance to compete, he is as good as anybody. playing corner going right now.
Two guys from the University of Kansas. And the deep pass is too deep, intended for Brandon Lloyd.
Oh boy, he had it. He had everything he wanted. Aqib Talib just completely faked out on that one. Right here's Talib. Watch him. He thinks it's going to be a corner route. Lloyd had him. That should have been a long touchdown, and probably the big mistake a lot of young quarterbacks make is they try to throw those line drive darts in there, and there's no room for the receiver to adjust. Maybe got just a little excited.
3rd and 11. Play clock at 2. Kaepernick under pressure. Down he'll go again at the 19-yard line. Malik Jackson.
Well, the series didn't work out, but Frank Gore just saved his quarterback's life here. They had a slot blitz coming off the other side, and I'm not sure if Kaepernick ever saw that or not. And at least Gore was able to keep his quarterback from getting gored on that one.
So Jackson gets the sack. Niners punting again. Andy Lee really bombing one. Back to the 10-yard line. Isaiah Burse. And he'll get corralled at the 13-yard line. Returns to play in the 3rd quarter after a punt of 71 yards. Look at the 49er linebackers since the year 2011. Navarro Bowman, great player, but broke his leg in the conference championship game last year. Aldon Smith has been suspended, but is due back against the Giants in November. They'll have him down the stretch. Willis hurt his toe last week. They have a bye week next week. So you're missing those 3 studs. They all get healthy, and Smith comes off suspension. It's a different team. Bowman with an ACL actually was the injury, the gruesome injury in that game. And here's another pass, and this is Demaryius Thomas into 49er territory before he's forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line. What a night for number 88. That's 171 yards.
And he keeps turning around Tremaine Brock, who is just having a rough go. They have been after him all night long. And maybe the only threat to beat out Peyton Manning for Player of the Month is his own teammate, Demaryius Thomas. This guy has just been a monster the last 3 games.
Here's a pass that's incomplete. It's Andre Colwell. 2nd down. Here's Michelle.
Well, the 49ers came in already shorthanded in the defensive backfield, and now Chris Cook is out with a hamstring injury. He had a quadricep injury during the week. He was probable, came in, and now out with the hamstring, Al.
Thank you, Michelle. They're down to 3 healthy corners. I mentioned before that almost everybody in that secondary was on the injury list this week. Limited practice time. Bowman bursting through the middle. Inside the 10, and now they have a rushing touchdown.
I really think this play was meant to cut back, and Hillman kind of did that. You can see the cross block. They're trying to kick out that defensive end, but he is so quick. I'm telling you, this offense is better, and their defense is better than what they were a year ago. There is no question.
And they broke a ton of records a year ago. They go 86 yards, 3 plays. Hillman now coming off a 100-yard game against the Jets, has 63 rushing yards tonight. Extra point is good, and with 9:24 to go in the 3rd quarter in Denver, the Broncos lead it 35-10. Live from New York, it'll be Saturday Night Live with host Jim Carrey, musical guest Iggy Azalea. Saturday Night Live in 6 nights right here on NBC. back to Denver. With 9:24 to go, and thinking better of it is Ellington. And Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. By BMW, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine, and by PlayStation, greatness awaits. Cherry Creek High beating Valor Christian 33-17. That snapped Valor Christian's 28-game streak. You got Dave Logan on the right, Ed McCaffrey, two former Broncos doing the play-by-play here. Ed's son is Valor Christian's quarterback. And tackled at the 20-yard line, Frank Gore.
Oh, boy, I tell you, Daniel Kilgore took a big shot at the tail end of that, and he immediately waved for help. It looked like Brandon Marshall slid into the back of his leg as he was getting blocked.
Injury timeout for the 49ers center. Well, that's the center, and he's still down. It's Daniel Kilgore, and we'll show you how it happened, but they'll get him on the cart and take him back to the locker room.
So many times you just doing your job and somebody comes into the back of your leg, and it's exactly what happened. And that's a big one because Daniel Kilgore has been playing really well. So now without Mike Iupati in this one and Daniel Kilgore, and he knew right away, immediately raised up and said, I need help.
And all the 49ers gather around him, and Dylan Farrell will come in to take his place. So at 49er offensive line, Anthony Davis just getting healthy, playing tonight. Alex Boone had held out, so he's not back to top form. Iupati is out, as Chris said. And now the injury to Kilgore here.
And there's probably no position like the center position, because he's the quarterback. He's the middle linebacker. He's the guy making all the calls up there. And you just get used to this whole coordination. And we were talking to Joe Staley about what it's like being without Mike Iupati. He said, we can just communicate without saying anything. We've all seen the same thing. We fully understand it. And so now you take Iupati out, you take Daniel Kilgore out, Anthony Davis just coming back in. Alex Boone had been a holdout, so they didn't get a lot of work together. So this offensive line that had done so much together now has been nothing but mix and match.
There's Iupati, inactive tonight because of a concussion. Did not pass the protocol yet.
But that was no question the strength of this offensive line from the center to the left is where they were so effective running the ball, so much of their strength. It's too bad.
Crowd salutes him, and he responds in kind. So Farrell at New Mexico. Honorable mention All Mountain West selection, and he's thrown into the fire here. Second down and 10. Clock ticking down, 9 minutes remaining in the quarter. Kaepernick pass overthrown there as Holden was easing up down the sideline. Third down.
Well, you can almost on every snap watch Von Miller and go almost. He leads this team in sacks. He leads them in pressures. I mean, he just is a blur off the edge. And Anthony Davis is a good player. But really, Von Miller just makes everybody look like that. Everybody looks like they're in quicksand playing that.
Suspended part of last year, then hurt. Wasn't on the Super Bowl roster, but has come back, and he's got Marcus Ware playing with him. Here comes an all-out blitz on Kaepernick, who hangs in there and has that one knocked down at the 30-yard line. Knocked down by safety Quentin Carter.
Al, I think as I watch this team this week, I really feel like their secondary has improved more than anything else. And it's hard for me to say that because they obviously have two great pass rushers on the outside. But they really have the ability to go 5 deep at corner and obviously a couple of good safeties to deal with as well. This is a very deep and talented football team.
Here's Lee's punt. Fair catch call for 28-yard line. Isaiah Burstall, one of the things that John Elway did is got to lead. T.J. Ward drafted Roby, so he changed that secondary as we go to Michelle.
Well, Ronnie Hillman with that last touchdown run. You know, when he was in 8th grade, Al, he played in Snoop Dogg's football league in Los Angeles. Snoop's got a lot of these all over the country. And Hillman said Snoop taught him, be the one to show up first. Hillman said Snoop's league was meant to keep kids out of trouble, and players really wanted to play for him. Al, Hillman was the first player from Snoop's league to make it into the NFL.
Michelle, what a tree that's going to be, the Snoop Dogg tree in years to come.
Yeah, he or Deion Sanders, I think everybody around the one or the other, that's where they're playing now. They're getting signing bonuses pretty soon.
Ronnie Hillman stepping out close to a first down.
You know what's interesting about Ronnie Hillman? Here's a guy that only played in 3 of the final 9 games last year because he fumbled twice in 2 games, weeks 6 and 7. And he had to get it solved. It was never about physical talent. It was never about his skills. They love having him involved, the big runs, the big passes, but he had to hang on to the football. And I think he's starting to gain the confidence now of John Fox.
Picks up 3 here, tackled by Bethea. 11 carries for him tonight for 66 yards.
And then you say, all right, now what happens when Monte Ball comes back? Because you spent a 2nd-round draft pick on him. It's going to be nice to have that sort of diversity. It only can happen in the National Football League. We were watching during the commercial break, and a lot of the teammates were coming up behind Monte Ball going, well, I guess you can think about retirement now because you just know how the sideline is.
We're moving on.
Yeah. Your time has passed.
This is Julius Thomas. Once more to Michelle.
Well, after all the fumbles last season, the entire Bronco team, from Manning to Demaryius Thomas to Ronnie Hillman, spent OTAs and training camp carrying around footballs encased in Lycra. And Hillman was telling me other players would try to jab the ball out of your grasp. You had to keep your eye out for people coming up behind you. And if you lost one, you'd have to go to the coach and explain yourself. And he said that really had an impact on him, Al.
Thank you, Michelle. Last week he lost one at the Meadowlands, but fortunately for him, recovered by Denver. He comes out. Jawan Thompson now comes in on 3rd and 1. They give it to the rookie out of Duke. And the Blue Devil takes the ball for a first down before he's tackled by Chris Borland. Peyton right now through the air, 301 yards.
Well, the one guy they were a little nervous about was that guy, Justin Smith. That time, though, a great double team. And Orlando Franklin, he wasn't happy about being moved to guard. He was the right tackle. That's where he wanted to play. They wanted him to move to guard and he wasn't happy about it, but he did it. And all that's happened since then is he's become, at least graded out-wise, in my opinion, the best of the offensive line.
Thompson again, tough running, picks up 8. Tackled by Will Hoyt.
Juwan Thompson, Peyton Manning got to work with him quite a bit. He was from Duke. He was all part of that whole thing with Cutcliffe down there when they would all get together, and he is a load. You know, all of a sudden you've got Ronnie Hillman in there at 195 pounds, and you think, okay, we're starting. All right, we got to be quick. We got to move, and then this 225-pound bowling ball comes down at you, and you've got to make the adjustment.
So that graphic second in the league where the 49ers coming into the game tonight in defense, but really down the list tomorrow as Dan Skuta makes the tackle here. First down. There'll be a little changing of the guard here in terms of the standings, the way things are going right now. The Chargers were upset by Kansas City today, which means that Denver will move into first place if they win this one, go to 5-1. San Diego 5-2. Of course, Denver's had their bye week. Chargers have it, and the Chargers come in here to face the Broncos this Thursday night. So on short rest, the two top teams in the West will have at it. The pass is caught. Meanwhile, in the 49er division, Seattle losing today. 49ers down by 25. Probable loss. And the Arizona Cardinals just keep on rolling. Beat Oakland today. They'd be 5-1, and the Niners would go to 4-3.
How's Bruce Arians doing out there?
Yeah. How do you do in Indianapolis? Filling in for Pagano that year, too. Fabulous job he's doing. C.J. Anderson is now the running back. And pass flared to the outside and taken there by Julius Thomas.
Yeah, here's a guy, sort of unlikely candidate in Julius Thomas to even be a football player. He was a basketball player in college, big power forward, rebounder kind of guy. And at the end of all that time, he actually played all 4 years and then went to spring football practice. You're allowed 5 years of eligibility, only 4 in any one sport. And he ended up getting the opportunities, and things worked out. He made all conference. He was hoping to make an all-star team. That happened. Then he got invited to the combine. A sequence of things had to happen for him to make it, and they all just kept happening time after time. And then all of a sudden he gets the NFL, his first NFL catch. He tears the ligaments in his ankle, and it's rehab for basically 2 years and surgery. And my goodness, he exploded on the scene the last couple of years.
Record-setting touchdown pace, 9 in the first 5 games, but none so far tonight.
And he got a little attention last week. He caught a touchdown pass, and he screamed, "This is so easy out here." And it was picked up on one of those microphones in the end zone. And I think they've been wearing him out pretty good around the compound of the Denver Broncos.
What doesn't get picked up these days?
Well,
to the 11, that's a first down, and that's Julius Thomas making the catch. Clock down under 3 minutes. Julius is a basketball player. Go back to
he got some tips from Tony Gonzalez this offseason, too, about how to train and catch the ball, and same sort of thing. Tony was a basketball player as well.
C.J. Anderson to the 7-yard line.
And we asked him whether or not he thought that he had a chance to go to the NBA, and he said, no, I was the smallest power forward in Division I football out there, and thought about going to Europe and playing, said I could have seen the world, but football just kept presenting opportunities and decided to take my shot. I think he's pretty happy, and his contract is up this year. He might do okay after looking at what Jimmy Graham made.
2nd and 6. And he throws, and a flag is down. You've got Buffet, Manning's longtime former teammate in Indianapolis, coming up with it, but the flag is down to the 2-yard line.
Interference, defense, number 50, hook and turn, automatic first down.
Chris Borland setting up a 1st and goal.
Well, poor Emmanuel Sanders, that's probably his 2nd touchdown taken away. Going to come right in here. He's got it, and Borland just wraps him up. He said, not on my watch. Chris Borland's a guy they were excited to see. He is not a big guy by any means, but a very good player at Wisconsin. I think was Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten.
Pass or run here, what do you think?
Oh, I'm going to guess pass.
I'm saying run. Ronnie Hillman.
You might get 7 touchdown passes. You are a genius. You are just some genius.
Genius is a much overused term. Ronnie Hillman for the touchdown. almost half the quarter. 7:08, 12 plays, 73 yards.
Big Orlando Franklin going to lead the way here coming around. Pretty powerful little run there. Orland just no match to keep him out of the end zone.
Extra point is good. That's only the third rushing touchdown. They get four rushing touchdowns this season because there are 2 tonight. And they have 19 through the air, plus 1 on the return. All right, next Sunday to the south we go. We'll get down to New Orleans. Boy, the Saints will have to turn things around here. Losing today to Detroit. Aaron Rodgers was magnificent again at home against Carolina. 7 o'clock starts things on the East Coast. Football night, 4 in the West. Rodgers, Breeze, 3 head-to-head. And 70.3 combined points per game. Can't get over that.
Ever since Aaron Rodgers told everybody to relax and showed them why he said it, they destroyed Carolina today.
Of course, there's a reason I couldn't get over it, but never mind.
You know, when you're a genius, sometimes things sneak by me.
Just want to see if you're still listening.
You see Fields, all that stuff.
Well, 42-10, Denver with the lead late in the third quarter. So the Broncos get destroyed by Seattle 43-8 in the Super Bowl, but they bounce back. And, you know, we asked them at the beginning of the year, you know, how long does it linger? And everybody's always going to say not long. But the way they're playing right now, not long.
Well, and it exposed some weaknesses on that team. And John Elway and John Fox, they did something about it. You know, a lot of teams, it's really easy to say, okay, well, whatever, you know, we got close, we're in the Super Bowl, we'll be fine. These guys said we weren't good enough. We weren't good enough to compete at the top level. We're going to fix it. They improved this football team, and they look dangerous right now.
Kaepernick from the 20-yard line with a minute and a half to play in the quarter, 42-10. And Kaepernick to throw, and it's incomplete. I tell you, you can't give enough credit to John Elway and the job he's done. He came in, and John could have done a lot of things. Had car dealerships, good businessman, restaurants. Said he wanted to get into broadcasting, not a problem. But Pat Bowlen, you know, said, "Come on with me," and you know, kind of worked his way up toward the top, and he's done a fabulous job.
And he's one of the greatest recruiters of all time. He really sold Peyton Manning. There was a personal conversation, relationship. Elway had done it his last 2 years, won Super Bowls, and he convinced him, come with us, and I promise you I'm going to build a football team that can win it all.
And Carlos Hyde is the running back here, close to a first down.
But, you know, for Peyton Manning, you think about it, and the decision just to come back and play. I mean, all those neck surgeries, and when he started the rehab and he started to throw and he couldn't throw the thing probably 15 yards and no velocity, people in his family and his friends had to be telling him, what do you have to prove? You have your Super Bowl, you have all the MVPs. What are you doing? Don't go get hurt. And yet his competitive nature won out.
Gain of 7. Davis. I mean, Peyton in Indianapolis, you look at the numbers there, and they're just spectacular. 263 yards per game. But now, since he's come to the Broncos, even better. Averaging a touchdown per game more. After 4 neck procedures. And that is caught by Stevie Johnson. Gets taken down immediately by Chris Harris. You know what, though, Chris? When I think of Peyton and playing, you can't replace this buzz. As long as you can do it, it's tough to replace this.
I agree totally. I've had a lot of years after football, and you just cannot replace the feeling of walking on that field and competing against the best in the world.
Whatever happened to you?
Got old fast, brother.
End of 3, 42-10. Back to Denver after these messages. Bridge being brought to you by Geico. As you look down upon downtown Denver, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. Our gang headed by Fred Godelli and Drew Esikoff doing Yeoman work as always, starting the fourth quarter on a historic night and a huge night for the Broncos, who are up by 32 points. Running back is the rookie Carlos Hyde. And they give it to him, and he gets met in the backfield. Stays on his feet for a second, but Quantaris Smith, up and comer, was the first guy to get a hold of him.
Well, this Quantaris Smith is quite the athlete as well. He had, back in college, was one of the all-time leaders, was at least on pace to lead Division I pass rushers. Got hurt late in the season, and he's sort of the third guy in the rotation. Nobody even talks about him.
And Kaepernick steps up, throws, almost picked off over the middle. Brandon Marshall, another one of Kaepernick's teammates at the University of Nevada.
You know, Al, one of the great things happening here for the Denver Broncos with the big lead and playing Thursday night, they're able to get some of these guys out. Now, the guys you aren't going to be able to get out are guys like Von Miller, because this is time to go hunting. This is when you pad your stats here when the other team has to throw.
Denver 4 sacks tonight, 3rd and 14 here.
Like that.
Make it 5. Yep, we called it. Sack season.
It's just not fair. He has too many ways to beat you. This time going to go with the spin move inside, and athletically, it was like he didn't even break stride. Just spun around and then goes, "This is too easy for me."
You're a genius. Second sack for Miller tonight. Lee's kick. Collected at the 29. Burse. Trying to get around the corner and pirouettes his way for a few more yards up to the 35-yard line. Early fourth, 42-10 Broncos. Sunday Night Football brought to you by Clash of Clans, you and this army. By Frostbrewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. By Toyota, let's go places. And by the new Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the next big thing is here. It's a big old gold nugget found in Colorado on display here at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Well, Broncos hope this is their next nugget when Payton ever decides to hang it up. Brock Osweiler comes in to play quarterback. He's 6'8", 240, third year in the league, out of Arizona State. And he'll begin very simply by handing the ball off to Ronnie Hillman. So for Peyton Manning, the night began with would he do it? And he did it pretty quickly. 2 early touchdown passes. Then before the half was done, number 3-4 on the night. There he is, and your perfect rating at the end. 22 of 26, 318. Phenomenal season continues. Just tremendous.
Check out those guns on him.
Yeah, he's working out a little harder.
He was. He came in our meeting room the other day, and he had like a swollen bicep. I said, wait a minute. What is up with it? You're going to be Colin Kaepernick here pretty soon. Wearing one of those tight jerseys, you know, and showing off the guns, maybe get a tattoo. He said, I think Eli and I are the only ones that are now still wearing the loose ones. Yeah, maybe not. Would like to see a few of the messages he's going to get tonight, though. He was talking about some of the texts that he gotten this week from guys like Jeff Saturday telling him that there's no way in the world he would have broken the record without him and guys like him. And so he's quite the prankster, and people try to get him back when they can.
3rd and 3. Osweiler will not pick up the first down. 4th and 1, and we check in again with Michelle.
Well, not only is Peyton going to get texts and phone calls, but he told us he's going to call Brett Favre. And, you know, Favre told me yesterday, Peyton knows me well enough to know I got to make sure he's not on a deer stand before I call him. But he said, I'll probably just say, hey, I'm not surprised, Peyton. Good job, and let's go hunting when the season's over.
A deer stand or a tractor?
Two beauties. Kind of missed just sitting down with Brett for those production meetings because you never knew where those meetings were going to go.
Everywhere. Colquitt's kick. It's fair caught at the 12 by Bruce Ellington with 11:23 to go on Peyton Manning night in Denver. 2 weeks from today, Sunday, November 2nd, the Formula One United States Grand Prix. On NBC, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg stake their claim to become world champion. Action from Austin, Texas, Formula One U.S. Grand Prix, November 2nd, right here on NBC. Grand Prix racing outside the stadium tonight as Colin Kaepernick stays in the game. Down by 32. Manning's night on the other side is done. And the pass is caught over the middle by Anquan Boldin for a gain of 7 yards.
NFL Next Generation stats, and it's kind of fun to watch what these guys do. They both get to the quarterback so often, they have to pick a path, almost like outfielders in baseball. Which one's going underneath, which one's going over the top, and they rotate it. If he knows Von Miller is going to spin and go underneath, DeMarcus Ware has the route over the top. They don't want to see those two great pass rushers running into each other.
2nd and 3, tip incomplete. 3rd down.
Unless there's a quarterback in between.
Good point.
They are something else. And Von Miller telling us that DeMarcus Ware was his hero. Kind of all the white tape on the hands and the white gloves, and he modeled himself after it. And he says now Ware, he wants to compete with me on everything in practice, no matter what he does. He said, I don't know why he wants to. I beat him in everything. So, and honestly, he's beating everybody in everything right now.
Guy still has a lot left. And what a job by Dallas losing him. In free agency losing Sean Lee, and that team has rolled to 6 consecutive wins. Beat the Giants today. High, 2 flags go in there. Got a face mask. Marshall was one of the 2 Broncos in on the tackle.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 54. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
How about chin strap?
Yeah, chin strap, right.
I think that's, I don't know. I've never seen that before. Ear hole and chin strap. You do this long enough, you think you will have seen everything, and you never do. That guy's pretty good, though. Yeah. Brandon Marshall, if I'd have said who's the leading tackler on the Broncos, any way in the world you come up with Brandon Marshall is the answer?
No, you say he's playing wide receiver for Chicago.
That's exactly right.
Doing, yeah.
Brandon Marshall is the leading tackler, and he and Corey Nelson, when they're in there together, excellent cover linebackers. Nate Irvin's in on the runs on 1st and 2nd down.
Kaepernick. It's run out of bounds. The Broncos are missing a pretty good linebacker in Danny Trevathan as well. He's on IR designated to return, so that's given somebody like a Marshall an opportunity to play a lot more than he normally would have.
You know what else is happening a little bit here tonight is that T.J. Ward, the safety they signed from the Cleveland Browns, they wanted to simplify. Here's a guy that can do everything, right? He can be at the line of scrimmage, he can blitz, he can play man coverage, and they thought maybe they had overloaded it a little bit. Tonight they wanted to simplify it some and allow him to just play fast, and you've seen it in this game. Here he comes right now.
And first down as Hyde takes it out to the 50, back to Michelle.
Well, back in 2010 when T.J. Ward's Browns played John Fox's Panthers, T.J.'s dad, Terrell, told him Fox had been on the coaching staff when he played at San Diego State. And T.J. told me, who would have known I would be playing for him 4 years later. His dad hasn't given him any good stories yet, but T.J. said, Foxy's real cool. I can tell when he was younger, he was a real cool cat.
And we can tell, Michelle, by looking at that picture of Foxy.
How about that hair?
Number 49. And this is Anquan Boldin. Mentioned it in the first half that last year John was on the off week, had chest pains, and they got him in, and they had him go through open heart surgery in the middle of the season, came back after a month. led him through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl, but he says he feels like a new man.
Yeah, he said he couldn't get on the treadmill and do 30 seconds worth of walking, jogging, whatever without feeling exhausted. And since the procedure, he's been able to work out and he just feels great. We're all happy about it. Great guy to work with.
Terrific guy. Kaepernick throws to the outside. This is Hyde. I'll tell you one thing that will make your heart grow fonder when you have number 18 at quarterback with you. John, many years in Carolina as the head coach. So with Manning as his guy, he's 30-7. You put all the other guys in there, he's 2 games over 500.
And he admitted to us. He said he's changed me. You know, I was a defensive coordinator, sort of like a Marty Schottenheimer kind of guy, defense and running game. But you get somebody like Peyton Manning and you just have to trust him. Just go do your thing out there.
Kaepernick throws. Crabtree makes the catch and angles his way for a first down before Roby stops him.
Well, Kaepernick had the one bad throw there when they had a little momentum shift and maybe Aqib Talib got him, but there's so much talent in that body. I mean, I don't know that anybody throws it harder than he does in the National Football League. We've seen him run ability. He's still a very young quarterback. Talented guy.
Here's Bruce Miller. You know, you look at the 49ers, they have a bye week, and they're going to need it too here. Because then you got Martin, the backup, Dylan Farrell, the backup center, who's a little slow in getting up. They have the bye week and then St. Louis at home. Then they're going to get Aldon Smith back in November. And you still have a second here where the officials have to take a timeout for Farrell to get off the field. And we'll be back after this. Well, there is Dylan Farrell, who had to come off the field, leg injury. He was the guy who took the place of Daniel Kilgore, put his leg in an air cast and took him back. And so right now they're all over the place. Joe Looney started at left guard. He's going to have to snap it. Jonathan Martin's going to take his spot along the line. So they're all over the place. Now guys playing out of position. Backups to backups. And it's 2nd and 8. And Kaepernick will throw inside the 10-yard line. Caught there by Brandon Lloyd. Making the 1st and goal.
Great job by Kaepernick. Keeping his eyes down the field. Had somebody bearing down on him. But just watch, before he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's never thinking run here. He's thinking pass all the way. And, of course, with that arm of his, all he has to do is give it a little flick. Nice play.
1st and goal from the 8. And Kaepernick to Crabtree. Flag for the moment. Crabtree gets into the end zone. And it's going to come back, though. It's going to be offense.
Pass interference offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 1st down.
On Bolden.
You see Bolden come straight up the field and basically just run into the defender. And then Crabtree's going to come right underneath that. You know, you don't need all that. I see it all the time with pick plays. Saw one last night in the Notre Dame game as well. You know, sometimes if you just be a little subtle, you can sort of rub your way through it, snap your head around, and they'll never call it. But when you're that aggressive, they're going to see it.
1st and 18. Swing it to Hyde. Tackled at the 11 by Omar Bolden. Talking about that 49er schedule bye week, and maybe they'll get Patrick Willis back in 2 weeks. They got St. Louis at home, then on the road at New Orleans and the Giants, and then they will finish the season. 4 of the last 6 are at home. Washington, Seattle's a Thursday night Thanksgiving game. You'll see it here. At Oakland, at Seattle, and then San Diego and Arizona to wrap it up. So they're going to get Aldon Smith back from suspension. They hopefully get Willis back, and they really hope to get Bowman back at some point.
do not feel sorry for this team and don't think they're out of it. This is going to be a team, mark my words, that makes a late run.
And flag is down, and you got DeMarcus Ware wearing Kaepernick out.
When they're coming from every direction, there's nothing you can do.
Legal formation offense, number 74, was on the end of the line. Penalties declined. Result of the play, third down.
Well, of all guys, the all-pro in a line that has everybody playing out of position right now, it's on Staley.
Watch the hands here of DeMarcus Ware. We talked with Joe Staley, and he said that this is a guy that has as many moves as anybody in the league. You can never do the same thing to him more than once because he adjusts. He's got a big game.
Third and goal, Crabtree stacked up at the 15-yard line. It'll be fourth down and goal from that spot under 5 minutes now left in the game.
Things are getting a little chippy out there. The 49ers have clearly been frustrated. We've seen a couple times when tackled and they've done a little kick at the end of the play, and this is a proud franchise. It's a proud team. They're beat up right now. They have too many really top-end players out to come in here and compete against the Broncos in this one. But trust me, they will be back.
Fourth and goal. Kaepernick's going to keep it, and he'll be halted of his own volition at the 8-yard line to turn it back over to the Denver Broncos. 42-10, home team. Well, Peyton Manning, his night over early, just about at the end of the third quarter, with the Broncos having things well in hand. Record is secured, and he'll be pitching on 3 days rest on Thursday as he takes on the San Diego Chargers in this building. He can do it. He can pitch on 3 days rest. From the 8-yard line, Jawan Thompson joining us late. Here's what happened early on. Started the game needing 2 to tie and 3 to break, and got it started right there with Emmanuel Sanders. Then the pump fake, and then Welker was able to hit the pylon with the ball, stayed in bounds, that tied it. And then you had a record breaker here on the catch by Demaryius Thomas. And just for good measure, back he goes to Thomas once again. 4 touchdowns, 318 yards. And on the season now, 19 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And I mean, last year was off the charts. 55 touchdowns and 10 picks, and he's on that pace right now.
Yep. He already leads, now tied with Andrew Luck, 19 touchdown passes. This is a guy that I have to keep reminding myself how old he is.
Offense number 19, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Talking to a lot of the guys, there he was with Johnny Unitas, and as you said at the top, Chris, a guy who really understands the history of the game. Y.A. Tittle, Sammy Baugh, went to see him in Texas for a photo shoot many years ago. Dan Marino, who Manning loved, just grew up in a family with Archie and Olivia, and Archie playing quarterback, and there's a brother by the name of Eli who has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Ain't bad. I tell you, my favorite story, though, was the one about he went to see Sammy Baugh in Rotan, Texas, and went out there, and of course they didn't have a lot of rental cars and all that. So they drove him to meet the great Sammy Baugh in a hearse. Luckily it was in the front, not in the back.
Good point. 3:12 remaining in the fourth quarter in Denver, where the Broncos are on the cusp of going to a mark of 5-1. They'll take over the top spot since they've had their bye week. San Diego hasn't. Chargers lose today to go to 5-2. KC 3-3 after that win in San Diego today. And Osweiler will throw, and it is at the 30-yard line. That is Isaiah Burse making the catch. Trey Gall came in to put the pop on the quarterback. First pass attempt for Osweiler tonight.
Very impressive throw by Brock Osweiler that time. See if he caught this thing or not.
Oh, now they changed it. Nope. They just changed it. Yeah, it's pretty clear right there.
I tell you, Osweiler knew he was going to take a shot on that one, saw it, was looking at it, calmly turned and threw a bullet in there. Sometimes you wonder what those guys are thinking. It's like, God, is Peyton Manning ever going to get old? He just keeps getting better.
Thank God they corrected it on the field. That was like a challenge right now. We'll take all small gifts. Here's Britton Colquitt to punt out of the end zone. Fielded at the 49-yard line and taken down right there is Bruce Ellington. Favre and Manning, I tell you what, there's some pretty good symmetry here. Peyton going past Favre with TD passes. Average length of their touchdown passes, 0.3 difference. Each have thrown 50-yard touchdown passes 43 times, 50 or more. 70 yards or more 15 times. Peas in a pod.
Yeah, two great ones there. He told such great stories about meeting all those quarterbacks over the years, but he was with Johnny Unitas at a banquet, and Earl Morrall, Johnny's backup quarterback for all those years, was giving the speech. And Johnny just kept talking to Peyton the whole time, and Peyton was getting embarrassed because, you know, everybody could hear him talking. And he said, Mr. Unitas, don't you think we should listen to Mr. Morrall's speech? He goes, I've heard it all. Didn't care at all.
Speaking of backup quarterbacks, you got one in there right now. Blaine Gabbert takes over. Good to report that Dylan Farrell, who'd gotten hurt, is back in at center. And that's caught by Derek Carrier. One thing about the 49ers tonight, they almost never throw 40 or more passes in a game. It's the first time since you go back to the 2010 season before Harbaugh in a game in which they have thrown 40 or more passes. Of course, this one goes with an asterisk too, because they fell behind early and big.
And the only time that happened was with Alex Smith one time in the playoffs, but of course that doesn't go towards the record.
A classic game against New Orleans at Old Candlestick Park. 2 minutes left. Big night for Ware. Big night for the Bronco D, and of course a big night for old number 18. Volkswagen postgame report, and you can bet that Michelle will be down on the field with Peyton Manning. Bob, Tony, and Mike will break it down and tell you what else has happened around the league today, and we'll take a look ahead at the next week's game, which is Green Bay at New Orleans. 5:09, here it was to break the record. And then they're fooling around. You know, Peyton is such a great prankster, and somehow you knew that ball was going to wind up in his hands, and finally in the hands of Joe Horrigan, who will take that baby back to in a shopping bag. You know, you think it'd be like the Stanley Cup, put in a big case.
Well, not everybody knows what they bring the Stanley Cup around in. You know, don't bring it to everybody's backyard. No. Okay, maybe yours twice.
Once in a while it shows up.
And your kid's drinking out of a straw out of it.
Yeah, they didn't get sick either. And that pass is incomplete. Off the hand of Gabbert. He played at Jacksonville, and he's now the backup for Kaepernick. You know, one of the stories that was making the rounds this week, of course, was when Peyton was going to make the comeback after the off year and went around on a little bit of a tour. Went to see the Tennessee Titans. Went to see the Arizona Cardinals. Came here, of course.
49ers. There was some interest there.
Saving that for, you know, and they're asking, everybody's got to resurrect every story 15 million times. And what did Harbaugh say? We were evaluating him.
Yeah.
See if he's any good.
I think he passed the evaluation.
Right.
It was interesting, though, talking to Peyton about this week, and he said, you know, the record and all that coming up, everybody's getting interviewed. He said guys that have caught one touchdown pass are getting interviewed. A guy named Mike Roberg made the statement if his house were burning down, the first thing he would grab was the ball. He still has the ball from his one touchdown pass, and he was going to run in the house and save the ball.
Hope he lives in the Quonset hut. Aligning the stars tonight. There's Manning with 4 touchdowns. Ronnie Hillman, 74 yards, 5.3 average. Demaryius Thomas, who caught that pass, 8 receptions. You know what? We didn't get to the one trivia question tonight. For those of you still tuning in, Fred Godelli down in the truck. I'm going to tee up. There's only one guy who caught a touchdown pass from Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. One guy. That's actually a regular pass, not even a touchdown pass, just a pass, any pass. The mystery man, who would this guy be? If you know this, you know everything. Or you're the guy. Hank Baskett, reality TV star. Caught one from Favre in Minnesota, caught one from Peyton Manning. You got Omar Bolden is now the injured Denver Bronco with 1:09 to play in the game. The backup safety.
Right here.
Ellington rolling over the top of him. Trying to get him stabilized here. Good news here. Steve Antonopoulos, the Greek, over his left shoulder. The long-time Denver Bronco trainer. And good to see Bolden get up. That Bronco schedule, 3 nights from now, Thursday night, they'll take on San Diego. 3 nights rest for 4th night, of course. And then at New England, so you got Manning and Brady again and again and again. At Oakland, at St. Louis. Miami comes in here. Miami shocking Chicago today. Then they go to KC. We have that game on a Sunday night, Thanksgiving weekend. Buffalo in here. At San Diego. At Cincinnati on a Monday night, week 16. And then wrap it up here against Oakland.
Great job, Russell. Outside. Red 80.
And Gabbert overthrowing the intended receiver, Derek Carrier. 2nd down.
I'll tell you, some of these run players inside, you think of guys like Sylvester Williams as being more of a run guy, but they're pretty quick in there too. Even old pot roast Terrence Knighton can do that. Here he is right here. These guys have a lot of ways to beat you anymore. If I were building a team, I would build it around pass rushers and corners, and they are very strong in that area.
And that'll be caught for a touchdown by Bruce Ellington. So Blaine Gabbert, at least the statistics will look fairly decent. Gets it into the end zone. 9 plays, 45 yards on that scoring drive.
Bruce Ellington, we talked about his quickness. Played a little basketball at South Carolina, and a good one. And he's looked sharp tonight. Happy for Blaine Gabbert. Of course, he was blamed for everything for a long time in Jacksonville, and it didn't work out so well. He comes here and maybe gets a chance to do like Alex Smith did. Go on and have good things happen.
We got a timeout.
Timeout San Francisco. Team's 2nd.
Crowd loves that. Timeout before the extra point. How about Demaryius Thomas's last 3 games? 226, 124, 171. That's 521 receiving yards over a 3-game span. That's a team record. And there he is, and you can always tell kids, grandkids, great-grandkids caught the record-setting pass. You know, when we think about it, Chris, I mean, who's going to break this record? If you have a couple of guys right now out there, you know, Brady's probably too old, Breeze maybe too old, too far back. Remember, Rodgers lost the first couple of years of his career because he was sitting on the bench.
Peyton played right away his rookie year.
Right, there it is. I mean, so, you know, who's next? And Peyton's still going, so, you know, these guys are just too far behind, which means it's liable to be a record for 20 years. I mean, right now, who would it be? Andrew Luck would be a guy who you'd say, okay, you know, it's early in his career, but
a lot of good things have to happen over the next 18 years or so for him to get after it. But if you had to hand pick a guy to hold a major record, probably would be that guy. You could probably plug and play with him as a CEO of any major corporation. He gets the media, he gets the leadership part. I've never seen anybody pay more attention to every little detail than that guy does. He can call everybody by name around the facility. There's a reason why he has had this level of success.
Not just football, too. He's a very curious guy, interested in a lot of things. Been with him enough when you're talking about things apart from football, where he's very interested in the process of things, how things happen, why they happen. If you want to beat Peyton Manning, of course, the average team scores about 21 points a game, but if you score fewer than 21, you're 411 through his career. You're 70 and 60 over. How about this scenario? Here's what I'm thinking. In 2030, Andrew Luck gets traded from Indianapolis to Denver and breaks Manning's record as a Bronco.
I hope we get a chance to watch that in our home.
We'll be in the home, all right. We'll be in the home, or we'll be in that hearse. He's down in Texas, and we will be in the back.
We won't be in the front seat.
Well, Neil down at 2. We'll end it. We're just amusing our friend Bob Costas over here, getting ready for the post-game show. Bob is half of our audience right now. Well, that'll do it. From Denver on a night when everybody came with great anticipation, Peyton Manning does it early too, does it in the first half. And his spectacular year continues, and his spectacular 3 years with the Denver Broncos continues, and they go into first place for the moment in the AFC West. And for the Niners in Seattle, all of a sudden looking up at the Arizona Cardinals with some ground to make up as we head toward the final stages of the month of October. All right, that'll wrap it up. Peyton on the postgame show next. Volkswagen postgame report coming up after these messages.